some of the nation's favourite celebrities.
What if we were to say 150 for the two, then you've got yourself a deal?
One antiques expert each.
Use them for plucking out nose hair.
And one big challenge. Who can seek out and buy the best antiques at the very best prices?
This is a fine art.
An auction for a big profit further down the road.
Potential for disaster.
Who will spot the good investments? Who will listen to advice?
What you've just come out with there, I cannot believe that.
And who will be the first to say, "Don't you know who I am?" Time to put your pedal to the metal. This is Celebrity Antiques Road Trip. Yeah. Tonight, it's a big showbiz hello from Hertfordshire, where we're joined by two vintage British actors.
Morning, Annette.
It's Richard Wilson and his long-suffering on-screen wife, Annette Crosby.
Do you remember that thing you were in telly? And the wee girl said, "Don't talk to me when I'm driving."
And Annette's getting to grips with the gears and pedals of this stylish 1963 Hillman Minx.
I've never driven one of those, ever.
Really? I want out!
Richard and Annette, of course, made their names together in the award-winning sitcom One Foot in the Grave. Over a career that dates back 50 years, Richard has earned a long list of credits.
But a jury might not convict on that evidence alone.
There's no one else I'd rather be in a situation like this, Richard, than you.
Ah, bless. Annette played alongside Richard as his wife for over a decade, but her BAFTA award-winning TV career began long before that.
Don't you start. All this fussing about me, I'm okay.
What area of antiques would you be most interested in?
Jewellery.
Jewellery, yes. Of course. Talking of antiques, I suppose we're sitting in one now.
You're sitting next to one now.
Steering this fine pair towards more traditional antiques are two of Road Trip's esteemed experts.
Good to see you.
First call is for our own great character actor, James Lewis.
What do you think? Toad of Toad Hall look?
And our leading lady of antiques is Catherine Southern. Together in this 1960s Morris Minor, they're revving up to meet their match.
There we go.
With 20 years of buying and selling under his belt, James Lewis challenges himself to seek out the bizarre and the beautiful. And don't be fooled by his cuddly exterior. He knows how to drive hard to get a good deal.
Another classic day in a classic car, as I would call it, a heap of rust.
Oh. Experienced valuer Catherine Southern has a keen eye for the more discerning antique. Specialising in scientific and medical instruments, she has a nose for the quirky and the intricate.
We haven't met our experts yet, of course.
No. I think I should be with a man and you should be with a woman.
There's a sexual chemistry will spring into place if we are mixed with the opposite sex.
I'm lucky if any chemistry is working in my body by the time I get out of this car.
Who do you want, Richard or Annette?
Oh, I'm a bit scared about him. I think he's going to be like your headmaster, isn't he?
I just expect him to be this grumpy, miserable old swine.
God's sake, don't do that! What are you doing?
Don't turn left! I don't believe it!
Our teams have 2 days of antiques shopping with £400 in their back pockets. Their aim, to strike good deals that'll make them a profit at auction. This celebrity road trip starts in Potter's Bar, in England's southeast. We'll then head into Greater London before racing south to Heathfield in East Sussex for the auction. Normally our celebs and experts would meet on a local high street, but today we've gone for a more industrial location on the outskirts of Potter's Bar.
Look, they're here.
This should be interesting.
OK. No, remember, Richard, not Victor.
No.
Richard.
What do you mean? Am I safe to get my feet off these pedals?
Yes, I know, that's the thing.
Look.
Nice to meet you.
And you.
Your first decision, or between us, is who goes with who.
Oh, Annette's decided that.
Oh!
I just thought that I should go with the man and you should go with the woman simply because it's easier and quicker for some kind of chemistry to work if it's going to work.
If it's going to work.
Well, if
Okay.
it's not, we'll just have to pretend.
We'll just have to pretend.
Come on, then.
Oh, right then, how are we off?
Either way. Come on.
Okay.
And without further ado, they all head into their first shop of the day, Canonbury Antiques. Owner Martin is standing by to help them navigate his huge barn rammed floor to ceiling with goodies.
Oh, we actually get the money. I didn't realise.
Yes.
Is this £400?
That is the whole amount.
100, 200, 300, 400.
There we are.
I
Lovely.
didn't realise that we actually carried the cash around.
What did you think? We paid
trick
by
again,
sort of
you see.
tokens or something?
Well, I thought
Right, the
we
rules
got
are
£400.
we can buy whatever we want. I would like to buy up to 5 lots to go into the
5?
auction. Yes.
What happens if I see something that costs £400?
That wouldn't be a great move because then you're putting all your eggs into one basket, and if it goes horribly
Oh,
wrong
I see.
for
If
us,
we lose it all.
we lose everything.
I don't see anything remotely that I want to buy at the moment.
We've only walked 3 bases, Richard. Here we are. This is interesting. James is
He's got quite a big head.
That's quite
hasn't
nice.
he?
He's got a massive head.
Gosh.
Good grief.
Well, lots of big and bold things.
Heavens.
What have we got here? Okay, now, a lot of the things here are brand new reproductions, so that we need to try and find the antiques amongst the repro.
Yeah, well, you're on your own. Okay, I'll just follow you.
That's not really the idea, Annette. There's no I in team.
Okay, now these are early. They're not very good, but they're but at least they're old.
Are those copies, those chairs?
Rush seat. Yes, there's one, look. They're 1800 in style. If you put your hand over that cresting rail, feel it's rough.
Yeah.
Imagine 200 years of
Years
hands
of,
going
yeah.
under there. Smooths it over.
Right.
So, yeah, brand new. Probably
Are we
made...
going to find anything old in here?
We'll try.
I mean, apart from Richard and me.
Now, Richard, at the other end of the shed, has found something antique. Or is it?
It's quite a nice vase there. Aren't Chinese vases very in?
The market is very strong at the moment, but for good.
For millions
18th
of pounds.
century.
Millions of pounds.
But I mean, that's brand new. Thanks.
I don't like it now I can see it up close.
No, we like it from a distance. See, nothing.
I think we'll keep our money in our pocket
And move on?
and move.
Do you think they're buying something? Do you think they're getting excited?
If they are, they're making a mistake, probably. Right.
I love this, Richard. I love your attitude. It's wonderful.
I wouldn't be so sure, Richard. James and Annette's perseverance might be paying off.
Very good.
There we are. Off we go.
Barnet, here we come.
With the help of owner Michael, they've uncovered a pair of original French bedside tables.
They have a charm and an elegance.
All maroon,
And,
plastic. All maroon,
Gilded brass.
which is all maroon. Yeah. You hit it on the head, yeah.
Dating from around 1870, these walnut pieces are handcrafted with brass finishing and are topped with green marble. Annette has a morbid fear of negotiating, but it's time for her to get stuck in. Go, girl.
On a good day, they could make 150.
Oh, well, that's where you need to be.
What do you think?
this is a fine art. And I'm keeping out of it.
No.
Michael has already dropped the price from £200 to £150.
Annette, be brave. I promise you, you won't go wrong
No,
with
you
those.
see, no, I can't do it. I can't do it.
That didn't go well.
OK, £80.
Throw another fiver in for luck, 85, all right?
Oh, I can't bear the suspense. I'm going to have to go somewhere else.
Should we toss off coin or should we just decide to buy them? Takes the pressure off. 80 heads,
We'll lose that unless you catch it on the way down.
85 tails.
Go on, then. Hey!
I've lost again. I always lose when I do that.
Well, why do you keep doing it?
The thing is, I always think that it's got to work one day.
At least we've done a deal, thank you.
That's a great deal. Less than half the original asking price. So Annette and James have their first purchase, spending £85 from their pot.
You know, I think we're going to have to start buying jewellery.
Richard and Catherine are back on the road, heading into the small town of Barnet in search of a shop more to their liking.
Do you know which knob to pull for the windscreen wiper?
I thought you were going to say for the roof to come up. I could try a few.
No, not that one. That's just done.
Barnet in Hertfordshire was once the site of an ancient horse fair, from which the rhyming slang of Barnet Fair originates.
I think that looks good.
Yeah, it's good.
You want me in that? I could put you in that and just wheel you around the antique shops.
Yeah, OK.
And there's plenty more inside the Barn Antiques Emporium. And perhaps with the help of Jim, this picky pair can find a treasure. Of interest?
I'm not panicking, Catherine.
Oh, good, because I am. We just want something that's going to jump out at us. Yeah. Something really, really unusual and exciting. Hello. What have you got?
It looks like Jim is doing the hard work for you.
Cast iron.
Lead.
Well, they're lead. I was going to say lead, first of all.
What are they?
Apparently years ago, the wealthy had them on their wall for their form of insurance.
This is Notts and Derby. Where's that one from?
Sun Alliance.
Does it say that?
After the Great Fire of London devastated over 65,000 houses in 1666, people saw the need to take out insurance. These plaques would be nailed on the outside of insured buildings, and only then would the fire brigade put the fire out.
It's heavy lead, isn't it?
You can't see an awful lot, though, can you, on the... What do you think?
No, not to that extreme, but, I mean, they've got to be old.
I'm not interested in that, I'm afraid. I'm sorry to be brutal.
Thank you very much indeed.
OK. Yeah.
This looks interesting, if you like weights and measures.
They're a nice big pair of scales.
The scales. 25 quid. Or a pony to you.
Pony. Do you know what a pony is?
£25.
I didn't know what a pony was.
Yeah.
What's the best you could give us on those? Not this pony nonsense.
Score then.
And what's a score?
20.
20.
20. Oh, you knew that one, didn't you? 20, no, £20, yeah.
Now we've discovered our ponies and scores, shouldn't we take a proper look at these scales?
That's the reason why I looked at it. I thought the actual bowl was in quite nice condition, and I think because it's so big, there are probably shop scales. They're too big to be in a home, so you'd want them probably in a...
They are proper.
They're
ones.
the business, aren't they?
That's the word.
They're not the most exciting thing we've seen, but they're probably the best thing we've seen so far, aren't they?
Old-fashioned scales have become more collectible, and in some domestic kitchens are more desirable than modern ones to measure your flour and sugar. It's called kitchenalia.
I could say something, but you could be terribly offended.
No, I don't get offended.
Don't you? How does 10 sound?
I'll meet you halfway.
15?
Can we think on those? And you mentioned you've got something else?
I have
Is that
downstairs,
right?
yeah.
OK.
Should we follow you downstairs?
Yeah.
Look what else you've got.
Yeah.
These are the golden oldies, these ones.
Ah.
How old are they?
I would say, yeah, 1920s.
So early 20th
30s,
century.
yeah.
Well, do you like them?
I do quite like them.
Oh, do you? Do you do buy one, get one free?
Well, you're in the market now, selling vegetables.
How much do you want for those?
£70, because I know you're going to throw a figure back at me.
He knows how we work. What would be your rock bottom price on them?
Rock bottom.
Bullseye.
A bullseye.
That's 50. Oh, if you go that
I
way,
think
yes.
we should think about that.
Do you? OK.
These two certainly don't part with their cash easily.
I have to rely on your expertise here, but what we've seen so far, they make an interesting double. I say yes.
Right. Jim? Jim,
That's me.
Jim.
would you take an extra £5 off and call it 45 for the pair? He looks a lovely man, doesn't he?
A sprinkle of charm has sealed the deal on Richard and Catherine's first purchases. £45 for 2 sets of scales.
Thank you very much, Jim.
After successfully buying 2 French bedside tables in Potter's Bar, James and Annette are heading north to try their luck in Hertford.
Is he really as grumpy as he comes over?
No. He's a great big pussycat. No, I'm the one who is grumpy.
Really?
Oh, yes. And I embarrass Richard with my grumpiness.
You're not too grumpy at the moment and you're in a wet car, so you can't be that bad.
The show must go on here in Hertford, which is the last place in England to see a person condemned to death for witchcraft in 1712. Luckily, the judge thought the whole idea of witchcraft ludicrous, so her life was spared. I wish she was around today to cast a spell on this wretched weather. James and Annette are forging on regardless in search of their next antiques haven.
Yeah, you don't have any antique shops around. Down here on the left.
On the left-hand side by the jewellers.
Annette's off. There it is, Honey Lane Antiques.
Good.
Left turn.
My name's Annette. How do you do, John?
Hello.
Let me see what you're wearing.
Not for sale.
I'll bet it's not. Yes, it's very, very nice.
Yes.
Annette has bypassed every antique and headed straight for her passion.
Oh, you're feeling at home already, aren't you?
Can I have a look at that square? Is that an opal? What is it?
That is an intaglio.
Oh, I see. That's the kind of thing I love.
Oh, I'm sure.
Right, you go and find something, James.
James is going to have to work hard to find something that'll get Annette back on side.
But Bonnie did mention a chatelaine. Let's have a... It's steel, but there was a fashion for steel around the 1820s, 1840s, when you would have steel nail heads, faceted, and they would polish them to such a degree that they would sparkle like diamonds.
Right.
We've got a 4-piece chatelaine with a piece missing.
A chatelaine was worn by housekeepers as a practical accoutrement with attached thimbles, scissors, pinwheels, etc.
I've clunked around the stage wearing those.
Have you?
Something like Jane Eyre or something. That's
Jane Eyre, have you really?
With a price tag of £98, it sparked Annette's interest, and James is determined to get her to start negotiating.
There we are.
What?
It's up to you.
Oh, you mean I have to take the responsibility
Yep.
for it? I can't do it.
Go on, you can.
Can't I?
You're Scottish, of course you
I
can.
don't know why, but I don't know what that's got to do with anything, but I can't. I'm no good at it. I never was.
Really?
Well, off you go.
Funny thing is, you and I both hate the haggle. I hate doing it too.
The lady's already come down.
You're quite right.
And
And
it's only because it came in at a good price.
I agree. You've
Yeah?
sold it.
James is going to have to work on Annette's haggling skills, but he did get a good deal at £60, giving them their second item for auction. James and Annette have discovered a shop that specialises in antique maps. Gilmark Gallery holds an incredible collection of originals and prints from around the globe, amassed by its owner Mark.
There might be a couple of things upstairs if you're on the pop up there. I'll show you.
I don't like to look at those stairs.
The first thing I thought, that they look like pianola rolls from this.
Yeah, they're actually small maps. A lot of people use them. You can use them for wallpaper. And I've seen these do quite well at auction.
Jeez.
There's about 60 odd maps.
Good grief.
I have seen them go for sort of £5 a roll at auction.
Really?
But I've never seen a big collection like this. I've never seen 60 odd.
So you could be standing here with a treasure trove.
These unusual little rollers are actually used to make simple outline prints of countries from around the globe.
How much do you want for them?
Well, I've got 345 on them.
What were you thinking?
I was thinking you'd take a couple to the auction and see how they go, and if they go terribly well, we'll be back.
Yeah.
You'll want to sell a lot.
I didn't really want to split them up, no. Yeah.
I think they're just such a specialist thing.
Well, I think you're probably right. What a shame.
With a lot of these maps and prints beyond their budget, James has honed in on a quirky little compass. priced at £75.
Oh, it's lovely.
It's about as high-tech as our car. It could be our sat-nav.
Still works though, doesn't it?
It does.
Navigational compasses were first invented by the Chinese over 1,000 years ago. This Georgian mahogany pocket compass dates from around 1775.
It'd be nice to think that somebody in the battle against the Americans, the War of Independence, might have had that in their pocket.
It's a wonder it survived, isn't it?
What could be your best on that?
35.
Oh, 32.
Okay.
Deal.
Thank
Is that all right?
Yes.
Super.
That's a great price for a George III pocket compass and gives Annette and James their third lot for auction.
Right.
And with more clouds rolling in over Hertfordshire, both teams are off to rest their weary heads after their first day's shopping. Night-night all. It's a new day in Hertfordshire, and sadly, the rain is back.
It's probably one of the wettest days of my 55 years in show business. Yep. How much have you bought?
Can't say, really.
Oh, come on.
Not a lot.
Just between you and me.
Not very much.
You haven't spent a lot of
I
money.
think Catherine's a bit worried.
Put up with me driving.
Well, that's a great joy, of course.
And you've spent how much so far?
Just under £200, I think.
Well, we've spent £45 yesterday.
£45?
I know, it's pathetic. Oh, please don't break down.
Oh, Slow down. Slow down.
Oh, no.
It's died.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh, no garage in sight, and they abandon the car and try a more desperate means of transport.
Help!
What do you get?
They are so mean. Please. Hey! Oh, you're lifesavers. Thank you.
Thank goodness for the generous-hearted Great British public.
Thanks a lot, guys. Bye.
Finally, Richard and Annette also arrive at Blue Coat Antiques in Birch Green, where owner Sandra is helping our experts recover from their ordeal.
Our expert is supposed to be here. Oh, look. Look. I don't believe it! I've been hitchhiking.
Oh, just. Have to say, it's been fun.
No time to wallow. There's shopping to be done. James and Annette decide to leave the others to it.
I'm looking for something upmarket, serious.
With a bit of
You've
class.
come to the right place.
Really excellent.
Follow me.
Okay.
Here we are. Look, Repousse.
Repousse.
Yeah.
Nice. So that's all been, the pattern's all been done from behind.
All beaten
been
out.
beaten out.
Yes.
Are we talking about Edwardian here, or is it late?
1900.
1900, so late Victoria.
1900.
And how much is on that?
£4.25.
Oh, no.
Price. I could push that.
We're looking for something just slightly shy of 100.
I've got a set of preserve spoons.
Now they're
Sheffield 1922.
That's very good condition.
This pair is from the 1920s Art Deco period.
Yeah.
Priced at £49.
Personally, I wouldn't, but I can see people
buying those.
buying those, especially since they are in the box, and they do look as though they've stayed in the box.
What would you be able to do on those, Sandra?
40 on those. 40.
Oh, gosh, that's not much. We can still think.
All right, think about those.
Richard's off in search of a better deal.
What about that little footstool?
The gout stool.
Goat stool.
I like it.
It's in mahogany.
Isn't that lovely? How much is on that, Sandra?
That's 165.
Gout stools were big business for ladies and gentlemen in the 19th century, as overindulgence in rich food and booze led to a type of arthritis in their feet, so they needed to elevate them.
To have a chance,
Yes.
it needs to be under £100, I think, don't you?
I could do it for 100. How does that feel?
That's jolly kind of you, but I don't think that's quite there, to be honest. I think...
So maybe the condiment spoons.
What would really be your rock bottom price for us?
Well, 38 is really the best price I could manage on them.
What do you think, Richard? Would you like to buy them, or
I've got a good feeling about them.
would you do them for a nice round 35?
I could do them for a very tight 36.
Ooh.
How's 30?
I think that's very good.
£36.
And I've got the money here.
Wonderful.
Oh, that's very good. It's fine.
Richard and Catherine now have 3 lots in the bag and £319 left to spend.
Thank you.
The road trip now rattles on eastward to the town of Sawbridgeworth. It sits on the Hertfordshire and Essex border that made its money from the malting industry. With over £300 to spend, Richard and Catherine have headed into Herts and Essex antiques. The pressure's on. It's day 2 and the shops are about to shut.
This is getting desperate now, Richard.
Yes, I'm getting desperate now.
Desperate measures.
It's serious.
It is, isn't it? Richard?
Yes?
Things are getting a little bit desperate, so I might quickly run next door and see what they've got.
Okay.
Is that all right?
Yeah.
God, this is miles away. I thought it was next door. Hello! I want something fabulous. Can you show me something fabulous? Oh, I feel under enormous pressure. No, nothing at all.
And to add to it, the competition are heading to the same shop. Look out!
Well, we've got our final opportunity to buy something really exciting. I need to get you into the bargaining mood.
You need to do a lot more than that, Brett. You need to turn me into an optimist.
Shall we go back?
What, the very first place we went in?
Yeah.
Right. Thank you very much for having us. I'm glad we bought something this morning, otherwise we'd be serious trouble. Look who it is. They look worryingly happy.
Yes.
We're stressed out.
James and Annette wisely steer clear of opposition and make a beeline for Riverside Antiques.
Oh, God, I'm
You all
going
right?
to walk again.
Oh, it's stiff.
Antiques upstairs. Are we going upstairs?
Well, there's got to be something here somewhere. There's got to be. Okay.
I feel like a child, just frantically not trying to lose sight of its parent. Oh, did he go in here? Where are you? Are you stuck in there? Would you just come
Is that
in?
an improvement? God, it's tight.
Oh dear. I think that's what they call a bad fit. I think they're in need of a little guidance from shop owner Shirley. Come on, Shirl.
I'm going to show you something that's really nice, and even I was going to buy this.
All right, okay.
Useful item on your desk. Everybody likes a desk set.
It's just not very commercial. I like it because I like elephants.
With inkwells and a hook for a pocket watch, this Anglo-Indian Coromandel wood standish is a kind of desk tidy from the late 19th century. With the shop closing shortly, Annette and James scour the cabinets one last time.
Okay, let's have a think. Little group there for £20. But they've all got faults. Salts bottle, chipped, a frame, no back, those that are worn, and a comb. But they're all silver, but
Right.
they've all got faults. But they're 20 quid. They're not a lot of money.
No, right. Why are you still looking at me? You're the one who sells this kind of thing. Oh, yes, yeah, fine.
Or no?
No, it's yes.
By adding another ornate comb, this silver lot has a ticket price of £32 all in.
Was it the one on the right? This one, wasn't it?
And as a last-minute decision, James has added a £20 pocket watch to the wooden standish, making it worth a punt.
But it hasn't got something to hang it off. Right, done. Deal. Deal, deal, deal. It's never been so tough to spend money.
Thank you, sir. I'll just check that they're real.
Well done, James. You've got your 5 lots for auction and shaved £7 off the ticket price of this little lot. Even with time against them, Richard and Catherine are still being choosy.
So what we've got to face up to is, yes, we're pressured. We've just got to stop thinking about being pressured and go for it.
Would it be really stupid to gamble everything on those tongs?
These 19th century Russian silver tongs are extremely rare.
Ah, lovely. I like them.
And being fully marked with maker's initials, they've got a price tag of £375. Wow.
You could use them for plucking out nose hair.
I think they're far too special for that.
They feel wonderful.
They decide to take a punt and ask Nick, the shop owner, to put a call in to the dealer. Will their luck be in?
Well, it was 375. He says normally he'd only do it for 340. He's willing to drop another £40 off it and make it £300.
Too much of a gamble.
Unfortunately, Russian silver is very collectible.
Very desirable.
Very desirable and very expensive.
We said we wanted something of fine quality, didn't we?
We did.
If we could get that below £300,
I will try.
that's a huge risk.
Nick calls again. And the dealer's lowest price is £290.
Why don't we take the biggest risk?
Okay.
And actually, if we bomb, we'll have rehearsed how we're going to deal with it beforehand.
Well, you're a good actor, so you must be quite good.
I'm going
Can
to
you do
rehearse
crying?
you in super cool. No. Super cool.
Done.
Done.
Fabulous.
Hey!
Yes!
Well done! That was amazing!
And with that bombshell, it's time for the two teams to reveal their lots.
Oh.
Gosh, you've bought lots!
Have we?
Can I ask what that object there is?
You wouldn't know, but almost every costume drama I've been in, I've had to wear one of these. Chatelaine round the waist, you know,
Aha.
if you're the housekeeper.
Very nice.
How much was that?
It was quite a lot, £60.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
Yes.
Yes.
And what is this made of, could I ask?
Coromandel or ebony, same sort of family of woods, but Indian turn of the century, probably around 1900. For the Standish and the pocket watch, it was 33.
I think it's worth more.
Well, that's good. That's the idea.
It's a good buy, you're saying.
I think so.
I can sense a touch of the old green-eyed monster here, and there's more. The job lot of silver, the mahogany compass, and their biggest purchase, the French tables.
And how much were they?
85 the pair.
And what's their history?
French, walnut, 1875.
I like the fact they're marble topped. Got a bit of sign of quality there. Yeah, no,
And nice being a pair. I thought they might make 150.
Well, we're going to lose on everything.
Oh, you're not.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are.
A weights and measures theme. Like those.
We thought they were quite impressive. Now, what do you think they're worth?
I think they're worth 70 to 100 pounds.
Do you really?
Yeah, I think they're lovely. Really nice.
We paid 30.
What is all this fuss about? About paying too much?
Well, don't you worry, we've got more things. We've got bigger fish to fry.
When you say you're going to lose at each one, what do you think
No,
they're
we're not
going
going to lose on that.
No.
We're not going to lose on that. We're not going to lose on those Art Deco preserve spoons.
OK, are they solid?
Yeah,
How much do you pay for those?
36.
What we might lose on... Russian.
Oh, they're beautiful.
Honestly, James, what do you think?
Wonderful. What did you pay? 300?
Pretty much.
Did you? Yeah.
290. It's
Very
a
good.
huge gamble. It's out of our hands now, isn't
Yes,
it?
it is.
So what do they really think of each other's lots?
The first thing that struck me was the quantity.
Yes.
They had a huge amount of items there, didn't they?
Yes.
I think we've done all right, you know?
Yes. You've done very well.
Oh, no, it's a team effort.
And very well done.
Ours looked more chosen somehow, solid.
£295 on a pair of sugar bears.
Yes.
It's a lot of money to spend on one thing.
You've got to take a plunge.
Yeah. I hope it pays off for them, because they deserve it to.
I think I probably would have bought the pen tray. I think that's got quite a lot going for it. Would we have bought any of the items that they had?
No.
Both teams began this journey with £400 in their pockets. 2 days later, Annette and James have spent £242 on 5 auction lots.
It's never been so tough to spend money.
Richard and Catherine have parted with an impressive £371 on 4 auction lots.
You could use them for plucking out nose hair.
Yuck. Well, there's a full house here today, so let's see how both teams fare. Auctioneer Peter Hebden has cast a professional eye over their purchases.
I like James's tables very much. They're very much of the moment. I think they should do quite well. The mixed lot of 5 pieces of silver probably, unfortunately, go for scrap. Probably make 40 to 60 pounds. The ebony Standish, it's nice that it's complete. And it's good also that it comes with the upstand for the watch. Catherine's tabletop or grocer scales, it's a pity they didn't have some bell weights. That would have enhanced them even more. Catherine's tongs, again, of the moment, Russian items are extremely sought after. They should sell quite well.
Well, time will tell. Quiet, please. The auction's getting underway. First up, James and Annette's late 19th century wooden Standish, complete with pocket watch.
That one there at £50. 50, 30, £30, 30 I've got, thank you, 30, 35, 38, 40, 42, 5.
Wow, this looks promising.
45, 48, 50,
Very good.
55, 60, 5, 70, 75, 80, £80 at £80.
We've doubled our money.
Well done, James. Well done.
What a fantastic start for James and Annette with a piece they weren't even sure about.
I think your scales are going to do well. There's a profit.
Richard and Catherine are confident they can give good chase with their first set of scales from the 1940s, complete with a full set of weights.
What do we say for those? £40, 40, 30, 20 on bid, £20, £20 bid, 20, 22, 25, 28, 30, 32, at 32, 35, 38, 40, 42, at £42, 5 now, at £42, selling at 42.
There you go. That's a start.
Brilliant.
They've not quite doubled their money, but it's a profit, nevertheless, before commission. Next up, James and Annette's small but perfectly formed George III pocket compass.
What do we say for that one? £50, 50, 30,
oh, God.
£20 start, 20 I've got, £20. At £20 bid, 20, 22, 25, 28, 30, 32, 5, 38, £38, 40, 42, 45, 48, 50, £50, 5, at 55. Last time is it then at 55.
Very good.
Well, there we go.
Very good.
It's on the up. That's good.
Don't look so disappointed, James. You're up again with a £23 profit before auction costs.
It all hangs in the balance now. Oh, I couldn't resist it. Oh.
Dear James. But he's right, and it looks as if today's crowd are also weighing up Richard and Catherine's brass scales from the early 20th century.
And what do we say for those? £50, 50, 30, 20 on bid, £20, £20 bid, 20, 22, 25, 28, 30, 32, 35, 38, 40, 42, 45, 48. At £48, 50 now. At £48, going to sell this time at £48.
Oh. Didn't even make 50.
They may not have made £50, but it's still a profit. This is going well.
Lot 90 is the steel bright cut chatelaine.
It's Annette and James's third lot, the decorative chain from the 1830s.
£60, 60, 50, £30, 30 I've got all over, 32, 35, 38, 40, 42, 45, 48, 50, 5, 60, at £60, at £60, 5 now, last time at £60. Right.
That's a very painful loss, guys.
It sold for what they spent on it, so after costs, that's a loss. Richard and Catherine's Art Deco spoons are up next.
What do we say for those? £40, 40, 30, 20, 20 I've got, £20, 22, 25, 28, 30, at £30, 32, 35, At £35. 38 is it? At £35, going to sell at 35.
Oh, it's going so wrong now.
Oh, dear.
I couldn't have said it better myself. They need to be doing a lot better if they're ever going to beat James and Annette.
At £40.
Well, so far, we're both in profit. So, we're in the right direction.
6.
We have big risk coming up.
You've got big risk, but you've also got really big potential.
Potential for disaster.
10.
But before we get to their big risk item, we've got James and Annette's job lot of silver. All 6 items set them back just £32.
And that lot there at £40. 40, 30, at £30 2, 35, 38, 40, 2, 5, 48, at £48. At 48, 50 down. At £48, done then is it? At 48.
Another tidy profit before commission. And now for Richard and Catherine's biggest gamble. The Russian silver gilt sugar tongs bought for a breathtaking £290. Richard certainly has an eye for the finer things in life.
And what do we say for those? 150. 150. £100.
Come on.
£100. 50, I'm only bid. At £50, 55. At 55, 60, 5, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95. 100, 110, 120, 130, at 130, 140, 150, 160, 160, at 160, at £160, silver 170, at 170, at £170, at 170, you're out this side, at £170, at 170, 180 is it? Last time, at 170.
Ouch! £170. That's a staggering loss. But hats off to Catherine and Richard for having the guts to have a go in the first place. I like their style.
Here we go, the last lot.
Good luck.
So can James and Annette make a profit on the 19th century walnut bedside tables?
150 for those. 150, £100. 100, thank you, bid. At £100 bid, at 100. At £100, looking for 10. 110, 120, 130, 140, 150. £150, at 150. At 150, make it 160. At £150 this time, at 150.
Well done.
Well done. Very
Well done.
good.
Well done, you.
150.
Nothing to do with it.
You helped.
That's a great profit of £65 before costs. So who's come out on top? Both teams started their road trip with a £400 budget. After paying auction costs, Richard and Catherine have lost £129 and 10p on the items they bought, leaving them with £270 and 90p in their pot. Meanwhile, James and Annette have made a profit of £80 and 26p, giving them a grand total of £480 and 26p, making them today's outright winners. Well done, James and Annette. God. All the money our celebrities and experts make on their road trips will go to children in need.
Well done.
Well done, you two. You did extremely well.
Oh, congratulations, Annette.
Well, I feel really sorry for you and your tongs. It was a brave move.
Fair dues, your team
You
won.
did brilliantly.
Congratulations.
You made profits on everything. Annette's just desperate to get
Desperate to go.
Well, yeah, out of the rain. Yeah.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you very much, darling.
Really enjoyed it.
So thank you, everyone, and despite the rain, it's been great fun.
Till the next time.
Yes, Annette, until next time. Cheerio.